listeners, and welcome to the Sideline. This is, of course, Luke, and I am joined by my BFF, Steve. How are you doing, mate?
In a word, brother, I'm shocked.
Why is it that you're shocked?
I am shocked after last week's show they've allowed us to come back on. Honestly, mate, I'm still getting nightmares about that, the journey.
And I think most of the listeners are as well, mate. But somehow we've managed to get away with it. And just before we actually go into the start of the show, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everyone for all the love and support that we've had over the last week. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
So keep getting in touch. Please tell us how much you've enjoyed the show. Offering words of encouragement. It has meant actually so much to her, and we hope that this week we can do you proud and not mess up too much.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I can assure everybody out there that I have not made the playlist.
Well, neither have I, so I don't know who has. So let's good luck with that one. So we have the privilege of being joined in the studio by a man who is simply a living legend. Some of you may know him by Danny. Others a nickname that we just cannot say on the air. But most of you will know him by the legend that is Bear.
Woo!
You all right, Daniel?
Good, guys. How are you guys?
Yeah,
good, man. Thanks very much for joining me
today.
I feel like we'll keep the pleasantries there. Bear will do.
Right?
Bear will do.
No probs.
Lovely. Of course, just because they've got the Bear in the studio does not mean we don't want you guys to get in touch. You get in touch with us because we are doing the 15-minute takeover, roughly around 5 p.m. We'll see how it goes. It's one of them shows. We just kind of wing it. We're going to wing it and just see how it goes out.
Sounds good. So That's right. That's your chance to get a song on the radio. You can ring us on 01670 432 107.
Or why not drop us a message on Facebook? You can tweet us on @Koast Radio. So before we hear from the man himself, we're going to play a quick song. This is Journey. I'm only kidding. I hope this is Calvin Harris and My Way. You're listening to the Sideline on Koast Radio.
Excellent. So that was Calvin Harris and My Way. What a fantastic song to start the show off. So we've got Bear in the studio. Thanks very much for coming on the studio, Bear.
No problem, otherwise.
I imagine at the minute a lot of people are sitting at home thinking, how did he get the name Bear? So would you like to elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, it's so once you go into the schools, you build a character, you build a persona up, and it was something that just popped straight into my head. I was like, I was a wild bear. Steve found me in like a cave up in the mountains, and he brought me down, taught me how to be human, showed me how to file my...
Whoa, I'm not getting my fingerprints on that train wreck, buddy lad.
Yeah, I'm not sure Steve knows how to sharpen his fingernails.
No, I don't know. I should say
he taught me. That's what the kids get taught. Like, Steve knows his way around fingernails and toenails and that.
Is it true that your favourite food is salmon?
Possibly. Possibly. I mean, honey, now and again, like a little bit of sugar.
Loves a bit of sugar.
Love a bit of sugar in there. It's just one of them. It's just stuck as well. The kids now think I'm a real bear that's been given elocution lessons.
Right.
I know how to talk now. I think
the kids really respond to that.
Yeah, they go wild for it. They're like, my God, you could teach a bear how to talk. I feel like they're going to be heartbroken when they get a real bear.
Let's hope nobody does buy a child a real bear for Christmas. So Bear, obviously your job title is Rockets Community Coach. It's a very vague title. What does that even mean?
Basically I belong to the community.
Right.
It's my job to engage everyone within the local area, with like the positivity sport can bring. All sports can bring real happiness to kids, gets them engaged, gets them out and about, gets them mixing with their kids. I spend a lot of my time coaching children in schools, whether that's primary schools, secondary schools, or SEN schools. All
right. What's SEN for people at home?
It's for the ones who don't know, it's special educational needs.
Right. That sounds great, mate. Obviously, you're doing a lot in there. I know from Steve, obviously, that the Rockets is a rugby club. So predominantly, I'm assuming, and possibly the listeners might be assuming, that potentially you just teach rugby in schools? Rugby, in fact?
Yeah, no, man, it's one of the ones. We teach rugby within the schools. That's what, obviously, we're linked to a rugby club. But we obviously offer kids and adults the opportunity to play at our club, and in a small part we do as a community organisation. For examples in the schools, though, it's not just down to rugby. We coach multi-skills, football, and we run other projects as well, such as like a healthy lifestyle program designed and designated to the kids, to educate the students and the parents of the dangers of like certain diseases, like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and childhood obesity. They're the silent killers. We really want kids now, in this day and age, to be active.
Of course, mate, of course. I mean, to be honest, I never really knew any of that, if I'm perfectly honest, mate.
I mean, if we'll throw some stats out there, like we'll try and put to the kids, because, you know, it's one thing saying it, but like numbers can back it up as well. I mean, did you know that like 435 people daily die due to cardiovascular disease?
Wow, I did not know that, no.
That's like over 7 million people that struggle daily with this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably one of them. No, being my very husky.
For the listeners at home, Bear is a husky gentleman. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, husky,
robust.
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, it's one of them things. A lot of people don't know these numbers, and that's why we create the program, and that's why we deliver it free in schools, in local community groups. The fact is, a lot of these cases have been prevented by a proper diet and exercise, something I have not stuck to. But, you know, we at the club just think it's something we can help change and educating children at a younger age. You know, we start teaching the kids, they'll take it back to their parents. The parents will start taking note and going, "Ooh, what is this? What are you on about?" You know, and if we start understanding it and like what the problem is, we can start fixing it.
No, mate, I totally agree. I mean, people know that I'm very vocal about parenthood. And I certainly, if I had a child, I would want my child to understand the dangers of lack of exercise. And the fact that you as a club are delivering that for free within the schools, it's a fantastic, amazing thing to do. So credit to you.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. I mean, like you said, they're free. There's so many constraints now, schools, local community groups, where they've got to pay for stuff.
I'm sick of hearing about budgets and things like that.
Oh, mate, tell us about it. But yeah, so obviously it's amazing what you're doing, Bear. If somebody sat there listening who's a head teacher or someone who runs a sport for the school or a community group or that's scouts or something like that, how do they even go about getting in touch with you?
Yeah, it's just that simple way. Obviously, like, you can check on our website. The website is www.cramlingtonrockets.co.uk.
Nice plug there, mate. Well done.
Or, hey, gotta plug it. Or they can email the community department on rocketscommunity@gmail.com. You know, I think everyone has access to an email or to the internet. If they don't, obviously try and get that. But
Pigeon, something like that. Yeah, that could do all right, couldn't it? Home and pigeon.
Yeah, but I mean Telegram. You know, smoke, and I don't know how smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
Yeah.
But again, we do not encourage anybody to smoke. No, that's last. So just kind of moving on from a little bit from that. Because this is our very first ever guest on the radio show, we're going to be nice and we're going to let you pick 2 songs.
That's
now,
appropriate though, Daniel.
I promise, I can't promise they're going to be giving my track record. All right, I think it's quite safe to say I can't promise that they're going to be the songs that we're going to play.
I'm not even sure we're on the air yet.
No, ma. If you can't, would you get in touch? If you can, how do you know who said that? So Bear, go on. We've already kind of. I pray to God we've rehearsed this.
2 songs.
2 songs. Yeah, pretend you've racked your brain.
Right. Yeah, we go then.
Like
come on, Journey.
No, we can't have Journey. That's banned from Koast Radio from 4 till 6.
Can we go? I mean, song of my childhood. I think it's just one of the most iconic songs around. It. Pretty Green Eyes.
I hope so.
And if you don't mind, one of the most chill-back songs that I've ever had in my lifetime, I'd love to kick back this one, is just Uncle Cracker, Follow Me.
Well, again, Mr. Bear. There's no promises, but after this show advert, I'm hopefully going to be playing Ultra Beat, Pretty Green Eyes, and Uncle Cracker, Follow Me. You're listening to The Sideline on Koast Radio. Great song choice, Mr. Gilroy. That was Ultra Beat and Uncle Cracker. And I'm really pleased, as it was actually the songs that we said was going to play.
Yeah, well done, brother.
That is a sign.
That's good for you.
Well, I think it's good for us. And if something's good for me,
Any
life,
mistakes, I'm singling
it's good
out.
for you as well. It's good for you as well, surely. Okay, so like I say, 2 great song choices there. Don't forget, we want you guys to get in touch with your favourite songs for our 15-minute takeover, which is going to be happening in about 35 minutes' time. We're just going to kind of roll with it, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So remember, you can message us on Facebook. Simply type our Koast Radio name into the Facebook page. That makes no sense at all. I'll try that one again. Simply type in Koast Radio onto Facebook. You'll see our lovely little logo there, and you can send us a message with a story, and we're going to read out the best stories we get, and with your song choice around 5 o'clock.
Brilliant. That's all the Facebook stuff done. what we're going to do, we're going to move on now, and we're going to give Daniel a little bit of time on the radio and pick his brain a little bit about what's been going on in the community.
Okay.
So, Mr. Bear, 2016 was a massive year for yourself, not just personally, but also for the club that you volunteer for and work for. You picked up a contribution to Schools Rugby League award. You came runner-up in Coach of the Year. And the club that you work for, Cramlington Rockets, just missed out on winning National Club of the Year. Now, my question to you, Bears, do you not think you could have done more? No, in all seriousness, that's a huge lot of accolades there. What was all that like?
First, so I got a minute. What? So Bears already won national contribution to Schools Rugby League and lots of other things.
Yeah.
How many awards have you won in sport? I'm just not asking to have a go. I'm asking out of curiosity.
I won a penalty shootout once. So anyway,
Right.
just ignore Steve because
penalty
he's jealous. Mr. Bear, what was that like?
Mr. Bear's my father. Bear will do.
It's almost bearable, that joke. Yeah, we've started. Come on.
I'm out.
How are you going from? Got songs at 5 o'clock.
It was a bit surreal, to be honest. You know, firstly picking up the individual award was an amazing moment. You know, getting a trophy, even as a kid and an adult, it still feels nice winning something.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I think your listeners will agree. You know, we don't get into it for the personal glory.
We don't?
I don't. Like, I mean, my manager hates me because I should be all about the personal glory, you know. But me,
I'm sure your manager has his reasons.
Unfounded, of course.
Of course. Yeah. So, well, I'm all about the stash myself. Like, but yeah. Sorry, go on. What were you saying, mate?
Yeah, it's some of us don't. You know, like it's just. I mean, for the stash, everyone's in for the stash. You know, you can't be looking around like looking a bit fly like me, like, you know, big bright orange and black colours, unmissable. I was already unmissable being the big husky fellow that I am, but, you know, I had a bit of orange in there. You know, but it's just to be recognised. I believe, like, it was the schools themselves who nominated me for the award. So, you know, that's really pleasing to be like...
Yeah, because it's not someone that you know, it's someone that's recognised you for the work that you're doing yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like a panel of, like, judges who, like, go on, like, credits, like, oh, what's he done, how's he doing it? It's actually, like, the schools who choose me. You know, like, it's the schools who've went, oh, actually, you know something, he's actually made a real difference to these kids, you know, and, I mean, I got to go down to Wembley as well, so, you know.
Fantastic.
You kind of...
Wembley was a good do as well, mate, wasn't it? I mean, for the listeners that haven't quite clicked yet, I am a colleague of Bears. Some might call me his boss. I do. I know that.
Some would say owner.
Horrible bosses.
Some might say
Is that based on your relationship with Dan?
No, we're a lot worse than that. You always say, yeah, so just a kind of, I know Gilly's been very humble here, the Bears been very humble, but we Bear picked up an award where the schools nominated him for the contribution to Schools Rugby League award. He got to go down to Wembley. Well, actually, mate, we ended up driving down to Wembley, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, because that was a lovely journey.
Yep, we found out that not only can I not be a good radio DJ, I'm also a terrible navigator. I think that's the right way to say it.
I've been there with you, mate.
Yep, indeed. And so basically, for those listening at home, I thought it would only take about 4 hours to get to London in a car.
I mean, that's a reasonable thing to think.
That's a reasonable thing. Combined with the fact that it was bank holiday weekend.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
And
I mean, I bet you didn't even look at a map.
I didn't. Well, sat nav, why? I'm not in the army. Do you know what I mean? So, are we? So we set off at, you know, like what we thought was a reasonable hour, like 8 o'clock to get there for 1 or whatever. And we hit every bit of traffic. Luke's cut out his toes. Was that right, Matt?
Yeah, I was just had to count my fingers.
Lovely. And we literally didn't work, Gilly. We hit every bit of traffic going, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Traffic lights were not on our side that day.
No.
It was the traffic.
Not worse.
Yeah, but luckily Wembley, they were very nice themselves, weren't they? And just talk through that a bit, Gilly. Like, how was that? So you picked up the award. Like, first of all, explain to people what happened when we got down there and stuff.
Well, the journey down there, I didn't stop believing. You know.
Oh, hey, we'll have him back.
Journey is out in force tonight.
I know, it's haunting us. It's haunting us.
But the RFL were great. Like, we got there, the journey being a horrible one. But it was an awful journey down there. But it was just, the RFL were great. We got there. They had like games going on, and like halfway during one of the games, I think it was Castle Tigers, like the schools was playing. And they present us the award in front of the entire fans, the stands, right. You know.
So I mean, am I right in thinking, did you just get there late? So the ceremony had actually
only by 4 hours. I mean, I don't know what everybody's problem was.
Fashionably late.
Right.
And a bit more, but the ceremony had finished, we rocked up, the scene went in my suit and tie, looking flyers out, and, they give us present us with the award in front of all the people.
Right.
I mean, it was weird. It was like, I don't think anyone knew who we were.
Right.
But it was like, yay, we've won an award, thank you.
They just thought it was like the worst pitch storm ever, like the two random Geordies in suit and booted storming on the field at half time before.
After everything had finished, I can just picture it would just be fantastic and quite apt for you guys.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously, that was for the work that you do in the community, but then you've also come runner-up as Club Coach of the Year. So, I mean, correct us if I'm wrong, but that seems to have more of a performance kind of feel to it. So,
some would say I was robbed. Possibly.
Right.
You win a treble,
Go and tell us Stephen was up for number one.
Possibly. I think he was on the
No, if I was up for the award, I would have won it.
But seriously, it's an honour to be nominated. But if I'm being honest, it was all down to the lads on the training field. As much as cliche as that sounds, it genuinely is. Our lads, I look good on the sidelines. Them guys are like doing the hard work on the training pitch and like on the pitch. And they've been a great squad. That squad that we had was like, they were amazing. And it was a wonderful opportunity to coach them. Some of them have went on to go on to be like semi-professionals. Some are going professionals. One, I've got a couple of lads who play for Newcastle Thunder under 19s academy.
Right.
And we've just had a lad. He's on the dark side of rugby.
Right.
I
assume for the listeners that's rugby union.
Yeah. Rugby union, yes.
Oh no,
they'll be contentious.
They'll be kicking off. They'll be kicking off.
We were about obviously building lads up to to reach their potential, and the lad is a young lad called Tom Marshall, played for Blythe Rugby Union,
right,
as well as us.
Shout out to Tom, great kid, lovely family.
Oh, amazing! Such a humble lad. He's just went over to the Bahamas, the lucky bugger, getting that sun, sea, and get a bit of rugby on it as well.
Absolutely.
And it's just them kind of things. It's just nice to be part of that, just watch them grow.
I was going to say, it must be quite fulfilling as a coach to see our players go on to make it at a pro level or even a semi-pro level. To be able to go and play a sport and get paid for it is a fantastic achievement in anyone's eyes, personally, I believe. But as a coach, to educate and give them skills to them lads and for them to go on and make a pro, that must be pretty satisfying and fulfilling.
I just hope, on that journey that they've gone on, that they've had a laugh, they've enjoyed it. It is satisfying to see them the fruits of their labour have come to and some of them have come to fruition. They're playing professional, they're playing on 19s league, they're going around the country, they're going around the world to play.
Yeah,
and I mean
fantastic.
the lad who beat us to the coach of the year, thoroughly deserved it as well.
Right.
Because he's Alan Stevenson of Wallsend Eagles, he deserves it.
Yeah, another community hero out there.
Yeah, the work he's done at Wallsend, it's you don't think of the hours that goes into it, but it is amazing.
Yeah. That's fantastic. It's great to hear all the stories, mate. So then again in that year, the Rockets finished second in the whole country for National Club of the Year. Fantastic feat, well done, Rockets. So being pipped to the post by one of the oldest rugby league clubs in the country, which I believe was Siddle. So to answer this, Bear, how does a team go from training in a car park to second in the country?
When you got someone like me, bro, you put fans in the stands.
I got to admit, I thought you were the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be.
We will get to that later, my
We'll
friends.
get into it, are we?
Yeah.
Lovely.
We certainly will.
All right, okay. Yes, sorry, okay, well, that's going to be mint. I can't wait to talk about that. But yeah, obviously it's a fair question. I mean, for the listeners, Gilly, how did the Rockets make that transformation? I love the way Luke put it, from a car park to being second in the country.
As much as we joked on there, I put the fans' hands. As much as I'd love to say that it's all me and nothing could happen without me, I simply can't. It started with Stephen's dad.
Stephen's dad, he's getting a mention on this show every week so far.
Do you know what it is? He didn't even listen last week as well,
Oh.
I say it's the nicest thing I've said to him in 6 years.
He didn't even listen.
He's
had 100% shout outs.
I couldn't believe it. What's that?
He's had 100% shout outs.
He has. Everybody else who's texting and tweeting, thanks so much for getting in touch, and you still can do that, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'd be a bit annoyed. Anyway,
they'd be interested to see if he knows what a radio is.
My wireless.
It was Stephen's dad. He created this philosophy: every child and adult is valued, and it's something that's continued on.
Yeah.
He was the biggest pain in the backside at times but him being that pain in the backside was what drove us on to, like, we've got friends for life.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you don't think you just like have a Joe that understands how appreciates how much hard work goes into it, the time he put and the effort he put into starting the club up in what it is now, the time and effort. There's this, I don't see myself as an unsung hero. There's other people at this club that genuinely put in man hours that it's crazy when you think of it.
I agree with you on that one, Bear, but I'm sure there must be like football clubs, cricket, tennis, all these clubs that must have their own unsung heroes as well, and who put in that much time and effort as well, you know.
Of course, you know, I mean, 100%, you know, but to answer your question, I think it's important that each club have its set of values, though, and it's important for them to work everything else out after that, and that's what Steve did. He set a club with a set of values that it's not changed. You know, for us, everything was focused on creating the best possible environment for everyone that's affected by our brand.
Yeah.
So that's things like making sure that all the volunteers are the right people for the roles, you know, making sure that the volunteers themselves feel valued. You've got to feel valued. The moment you feel valued, you know, you love your job. You know, it's half the battle. If you can go into a job or like
I couldn't agree more, mate. I think it's important to retain volunteers, but also good quality volunteers, like we talked about.
The right volunteers.
The right volunteers. So I appreciate that 100%. 100% agree with you. Keeping them volunteers and making them feel respect is fantastic. Sorry, mate.
I agree with you guys. If your kid feels valued, the parent's going to enjoy bringing the kid down. It's going to put a smile. It's a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
You know,
Success breeds success, doesn't it?
Yeah, completely.
I mean, we work very hard on doing like those little things, and if it's a byproduct of being successful on the field, then so be it. You know, but at the end of the day, if I've got kids who can go away in life now and say, you know, I had a great laugh as being a kid.
Yeah.
I can say that. So, there's some awful times, some muddy fields to play it on, some awful weather to play when I was a kid. But them values that Steve's dad, like, obviously instilled in us in the club.
And what's fascinating, mate, is that you've actually taken them values and that philosophy as a kid, being coached by Steve and Steve's team at the time, which I'm being generous, but he probably didn't have a team around him.
No.
So you've taken them philosophies and them values, you've moved them on forward and put them into your coaching and adapted it yourself and put your own little flow on it and said, like, you know, I want kids to enjoy it, I want kids to have a laugh. Now, there'll be people listening now at home who are maybe at smaller clubs, not quite as big as the Rockets or not quite as evolved as the Rockets have become. And they're just saying them to themselves now, that's great. We've created a good environment, but we haven't really taken off. So what would you say to them who are maybe at the smaller part of the Rockets where at some stage, how can them evolve their club?
In all honesty, it's persistence and patience. If you've ever worked with me, Steve must have the patience of a saint. And if being Steve's dad, I can imagine his dad, no wonder he turned great early on.
Yeah.
You know, it's persistence.
I spend a lot of time with Steve.
Yeah.
And patience isn't one of his key attributes, I can tell you that now.
But with kids and with parents alike, it's persistence and patience. And if that's if that was hard to think, like, people wouldn't be doing it, you know. It's one of them ones, like, if you can stick to that, you've got it.
Yeah. So interesting though, because I've kind of got a bit of an invested interest, so I'm like sitting there listening, letting you guys chat away and stuff. But being honest with you, Gilly, how did you feel? And I'm sure loads of people like who are coaches who listen to the show, who got in touch with last week, saying, you know, we said a few things last week that kind of made them think about themselves and stuff. Yeah. I'm sure they're sat there, and I'm sure they're kind of like reminiscing a little bit as well whilst you were talking. How did you feel the first time I ever dumped 30 kids on you? And just because that's what I did, literally. After your job interview, after you got the job, bang, there you go, mate. There you go, so sink or swim. Yeah. Let's see what you're made of. How do you feel?
Deep end with concrete boots. I felt like the Godfather, Luca Brasi. I was sleeping with the fishes that day.
You get the feeling Gilly's more funny than me and you.
He's not coming on the show again.
No, he's not. He's not. No.
Coaching the kids is fine. Do you know something? Like, because I'm as mad as a box of frogs anyway, you know.
I'd second that.
And it's one of the ones coaching kids is fine, because if you can keep them enthused and you can keep them just alive and loving it, then and then they weren't the problem.
Right.
It's when you've got like a big hawk sitting behind you, looking. Obviously, Steve had taught me everything, like the programs, the plans, everything like that. But trying to put into practice, I was sitting there loving it, and then I realised he's standing behind me, and I was terrified by Steve.
I know how precious he is about how he wants things done. Some would call him a control freak, not me.
Oh, he likes to micromanage.
I just have high standards, boys.
But it wasn't the kids. It was because I wanted to impress him. Like he's a.
So when are you going to start?
Yes, he's my manager, but like it's one of them ones you do. You just sit there and go, I'm terrified to mess up by him.
The thing is, and I've done like very little coaching compared to you guys, but I think the thing is with young people or children is engagement, and once you engage them, like it's as long as you seem confident and you're putting something across,
that's what it is. Yeah.
Then it's not so much of an issue. It's more the pressure of the people, and I understand what you're saying. It's more the pressure of the people behind you, of the systematic coaching era, where it's saying, well, actually, you didn't teach him to, carry the ball right. It wasn't in his. And I know Steve's quite progressive as a coach, so I know that's a little different. But in its own sense, he's putting his own pressure on you to then become a more progressive coach like him. And although that's good, people come under pressure and they rise to it. I think it's fascinating that you're more.
My thing with you, Bear, is I think I've seen you on a journey. I've seen that when you first started, and I always tell people this story. Okay, when we first interviewed Bear, and I'll be honest with you, his session was terrible. Do you know what it was? His session was absolutely terrible.
You can't be an expert in one session, though.
No, but the thing is, though, right? We had loads of people apply for this job, and I remember that your session plan was, I think, it was pretty much written on a packet of crisps or something, and
Benson and Hedges.
Benson and Hedges,
kind of thing.
His session plan was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Like, in terms of the record of the session plan, his delivery was just woeful in the sense of you knew you'd never coached before. But you had one thing that outweighed every single one of those coaches that went for that job, and that was you and me, mate. No, I'm kidding. That was you had that likability factor.
Yeah.
I watched this little girl fall in love with you when you just started acting daft around her, and that I said to it was myself and there was the two of our people at the interview panel. We looked at each other and we said, "Do you know what it is? He gets a job because we can teach," and this is for any coaches listening out there, you can teach someone to coach. You can't make someone likable.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I think that's actually a credit to yourself, Daniel. That's
personally, I thought about myself, but
touched my heart. That's the nicest thing he's ever said about me. No, seriously.
And that actually that brings us on lovely to our next song, which is going to be "Larger Than Life" by Backstreet Boys. So you're listening to The Sideline on Koast Radio 106.6 FM.
So there you go. Shout out to the lads. Yeah, sorry about that. Shocker on me just doing, well, I mean, how long we've been going? 48 minutes.
Yeah.
To be fair, considering last week, the first mistake was less than a minute in.
Yeah. You are a technological nightmare, my friend.
And yet I've been giving my own radio show. Hour. Sorry, yes. I'm above the law. Yes, okay. So, yes, welcome back. You're listening to The Sideline on Koast Radio. And, of course, we are joined by the award-winning Danny the Bear Gilroy.
Excellent. So just before we're getting into more stuff with Bear, lots of people have been saying good things about him, so he's not going anywhere just yet. Loads of people have been in touch with the Facebook page and with ourselves. Big shout out to Matthew and Johnny, who have been listening for the last 2 weeks. They're obviously lifers. Thank you very much.
We are the lifers.
A big shout out to Bear's personal trainer, Stu Walker. Work on your personal training, mate, because Bear's not looking in the greatest of shape. No, big shout out to Stu. Thanks.
We are hoping to have Stu come on the show. He's a very knowledgeable guy. He's actually, I'll name drop him.
Some people like this shape.
He's a strength and conditioning coach for not just Newcastle Thunder, but also Newcastle Falcons as well.
Right.
Very intelligent man, so it's nice to hear that we've got a minor celebrity listening.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you on the show, Stu, mate. And the big man himself is actually listening, Steve Beattie. I believe last week he couldn't listen because of something like work or something, did he say?
The excuse it is.
The old people's home obviously didn't let the radio go on.
The old people's home, yeah.
So thanks very much, Steve, for listening. Excellent. So today we've talked a lot about Bear's sporting achievements, but whilst doing some research on the internet, I came across something extremely fascinating. And if I'm totally honest, I'm giddy with excitement about this.
I'm a little bit terrified because there's some very dark things on the internet. So let's just remember it's a family show. and we're all happy and we're having a good time.
Yes, nothing like that, my friend, nothing like that. Obviously, your mind needs to be reattuned. Did you know that we have a TV star with us today? So, I'm going to play this for you.
I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
That's right, our first ever special guest was on the hit TV show Total Wipeout.
Oh, is there no end to your talents, young man?
So, Danny, how did that even happen that you managed to make it on Total Wipeout? That's your cue to speak.
Is that my cue to speak?
That's why everybody's
I'm
looking
dying
at you.
ever so slightly with a little bit of embarrassment there. Way to put a brother on a spot. It was not me that signed up for Total Wipeout.
Right?
As much as I am the crazy and wild figure that I am, it was my mum who
Right.
signed me up to it. I don't know what she was planning on doing. Don't know why she was looking at it, but she signed me up with the company Endemol.
Right.
They run like all the programs like Deal
Big
or No
Bro,
Deal,
Big Brother and stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Definitely sounds like medicine.
yeah,
that,
the
doesn't it?
reality TV shows, kind of thing. And she signed me up. I come in from work one day. I was working at the DWP at the time, and they turn around and she goes, "I've signed you up for something wonderful." He has me thinking, "Ooh, what's this going to be?" It's like,
Yeah,
thinking nothing will come of it.
Like
It's-
fat camp or something.
yeah, well, damn,
Husky
hot,
camp. Husky
hot,
camp.
cold. And she went, "I've signed you up to a game, like a TV game show." I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, awesome." Thinking nothing would come of it,
Yeah.
but go along with it. And she goes, "I've signed you up for something called Total Wipeout."
Right.
And
Had you seen the show before?
No.
Before she'd signed you up?
no, I hadn't. She signed it up. She signed me up to it, and then she went, "Oh, don't worry, it's a bit like Keith Chegwin's It's a Knockout." Again, I was like, "Okay, this is something I've not heard of."
At that
Let me have a
point,
look at this.
would you not just be a bit like, "Ma'am, what are you doing?"
I know, yeah, I would be a little bit curious.
Again, we go back to this patience. I am a saint. But she signs me up to it, and I go along, and it was at Eldon Square.
Right.
I didn't think I was going to get a response back. Got a response back. They went, "Come along to Eldon Square. We'd love to interview you. Have a do a little bit of a course, and just we'll work it from there." Thought, well, what's the worst that could happen? It's
Yeah.
go along, have a bit of a laugh, get a free day off work.
Yeah.
And
And you went along to Eldon Square. And what did they make you do in Eldon Square? What was the interview process like at that point?
horrible things,
Right.
unspeakable things. They made me, obviously, at the time, I was
Mm-hmm.
still, if you look at the video, it's on YouTube, I'm still I was not as husky, but, still a rather round fellow.
I believe Steve's going to put the link on
I've
the Facebook
I've
page.
just managed to find it. It didn't take that much to find it, if I'm being honest. It's got a lot of views.
Yeah.
You can look at our Koast Radio Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop the link up there whilst you guys are talking away here.
But went on down to Eldon Square. They was obviously in their sports centre bit. They set out like a little bit of an assault course, the balance
Right.
beams, the crash mats, the hopping over the horses and all that. Not real horses, surprised they didn't just throw that in there for a bit of a curveball to us. But and obviously, I must have done wonderful at that, falling off the balance beams, smashing at the crash mats.
How did you do it? So I know you've been a little
I did
bit
better. I
sarcastic,
did better in the trial run than I did on the video. A lot better.
It's now live on Facebook. You can go on the page. You can go on our
Brilliant.
the Koast Radio Facebook page, and it's there in all of its glory to watch.
Excellent. So you've got to the Eldon Square. You've done the trial. You've obviously fell a lot of times.
Yeah, that's my.
What happened after the Eldon Square part?
They do that. They obviously do the assault course and then take you upstairs. Just a little room with almost like an interview panel. It was like,
Right.
oh, this didn't feel like this was going to be coming along. I didn't think I did really well enough on the assault course to warrant being in an interview process. And I got there and they were like, right, there's a camera on you now. All you want to do is we're going to ask you a few questions and you are just going to respond back with some answers. Don't worry about waffling. I was like, don't worry about anything like that. Just try not to swear.
Yeah.
And we'll
Sounds
go
like
with
a bit
It sounds like the brief we given for this show.
Yeah, I was
doesn't
going to
it?
say, sounds similar.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like there's a camera on me now. If this is a game show, then I feel like I'm failing. And it was just one of them ones. In that line there that you hear, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. it was the first thing that popped in my head. They asked me a question like, so why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be on this game show? You know,
Where's
what
that from?
spurs you on to be?
Where's that from? Who says that? It's a wrestler, isn't it?
It is a wrestler.
Is
It was one of the most famous wrestlers in the business, Bret the Hitman Hart.
There you go. Okay.
Shout out to Brett.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Our mate Brett. Oh,
Yeah.
I used the line thinking, you know, first thing that popped in my head. I actually tried to change that before I went on the show. I
Right.
actually tried to change it to something like give my boys a shout out. But
Yeah.
because obviously they didn't want me to be like, well, hold on, what's he going to say? Just stick to your line. Yeah, got a lot of hatred for that. A lot of wrestling fans did not like me.
So obviously you did that part, Eldon Square, and after that you would have, I believe the show's not filmed in England.
No,
So
no.
What happened from there? Where did you go? How did it happen?
Well, you wouldn't get that kind of sun in England. No,
You've never been to
did the
Blackpool?
audition, got the letter back saying, you know, we really enjoyed your audition process. You know, would you love to be part of the show? Wanted to be on it. Said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. My mum's giggling her face off, going, ha ha ha, where are you going? Which I was able to flip back on her because when at the bottom of the letter went, you'll be going to Argentina for a week.
Oh,
Fly
nice.
down to Heathrow, all expenses paid. Fly down to Heathrow, fly out to Argentina via Sao Paulo. So I know I got a brief stay in Brazil.
Lovely,
Take that off the bucket
jolly.
list.
Wow.
Summer town.
No, but then straight over to Argentina and like a week of, I mean, yeah, we're getting up early and obviously doing the show. Like you obviously you're there all day because obviously you're a group of like 20 people. You go over, you get like on the show, you do all the obstacles, and it's done there and then on the day. So
yeah.
like you'll do like Monday it'll be one section,
Yeah.
Tuesday will be the next section, but you still go along. You're not allowed
Yeah.
to like roam like Argentina or Buenos Aires is where it was at. You know, you've just got to go to the set. But amazing place, and anyone I've had umpteen people go, oh, that looks dead easy. That looks like try do things like that in 32 degrees worth of heat, my friend. Even if you're as like Mo Farah, right? Whether you're built like me or built like Mo Farah, it is hard.
I still think I do better than Gilly.
Did you get punched by one of the Punchy McPunch things?
Punchy McPunch things.
The punchy.
That's actually
McCormick.
the technical term. It's a punching wall, is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Punching wall.
Punching wall, there you go.
That doesn't sound very technical. I prefer Punchy
I'll
McPunch.
go for that one.
The punching wall was fun. Yeah, the video that you'll see on YouTube is on the Koast Radio page is one where I get hit in the face. You don't see the one that catches me down low in
Gives you a
Crown
low
Jewels.
5, does it?
It's why Richard Hammond selected me as the best knockout of Total Wipeout on that series.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't win another award, did you?
Oh, yeah, yes, I did.
Trophy cabinet must be full.
For being the best punch. Best sucker punch. Best sucker punch.
The
Best
best
person to be able to take a punch anywhere on the body. Daniel Gilroy, #1 award.
Oh, Richard
about
Hammond
coach
made
of
his
the year.
career off me. His career skyrocketed because of me getting punched.
Did you have fun, mate?
I would implore anyone in the world, go do something like that. You know, like go have fun. It was like I did it on a whim.
Yeah. Did you win?
I think we can safely say now, you know, my contractual agreement with Endemol must be over by now. So I did not win. You know, £10,000 worth of prize money would have sounded wonderful. Would have
sounds
been
lovely.
amazing. But
I'd rather have a trophy that says best sucker punch of the year. I mean,
I've got that.
I know.
What? So I mean, obviously that sounds a fantastic experience. I mean, personally, I would love to do Total Wipeout. I think I've applied to go on to the island.
You think you've applied? I mean, is that like
no.
are you
So,
not sure you pressed
okay.
enter or something? Or I mean, I think I
I've
applied, but I don't know what happened.
So I have
You've applied to
applied.
go to Ireland.
The island, the
Oh,
Bear
the
Grylls.
island.
You don't have to apply to go.
Government warranty.
You don't need a visa to go to Ireland, do you?
I don't like potatoes. So anyway, so that said, I've applied, for the island, the Bear Grylls show, the island, 3 times,
Right.
and I've never even got an interview.
I can
So
talk-
what am I doing? What am I doing
Good.
wrong?
That's a great
I can
question.
talk to my homeboy for you. Yeah, you know, Bear Grylls, I mean, him like that.
Bear,
you know,
bear, yeah, like it.
honestly.
What would be your advice for me now? Because I've applied for that show 3 times.
If you want to try it, just keep applying. Like, honestly, there's the amount of game shows that come out
that
now.
links into earlier. I don't think you did that on purpose, but persistence and perseverance.
It is. It's
and
all
patience.
about persistence,
Right.
perseverance, and patience. It's one of them ones. It'll come along. I've got a friend who went on Total Wipeout with me.
Right.
He's been on 3 different game shows. He was on the Cube.
Right? Brilliant.
He's on the Chase, and I think he was on Deal or No Deal.
I'm not sure I've got the brain power for the chase.
Oh, good God, no! I'm a bear.
And I know you haven't got the brain power for sure.
Excellent. So, I mean,
I think I've got the brain part, I just don't know. Lovely. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, because I don't know about you, mate, but I'm having a laugh.
yeah,
I'm having a giggle. I
I'm
think
not sure about the people at home. But
yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Stay tuned in, Terry, so only now I'm more to go. I think what we're going to do, I think Bear would like to stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Are you
go on,
happy to
I'm
stick
enjoying
around a little
myself.
bit longer?
Yeah.
I am currently typing in a song that I don't even know exists, because as many of you might know at home, that I'm not really up to date with modern music.
Or technology.
Or technology, clearly, yep. So, what song could happen next generally is anybody's guest. But I think what we're going to do,
Guest?
guys...
What about guess?
What did I say?
Guest.
Okay. Well, it's either
It's a
one,
great
really,
guess.
isn't it? It's anybody's guess, and Bear is our guest.
Right.
That
So,
makes sense. That's English,
what
isn't
we
it?
got coming?
Right, okay. Well, I don't know is the honest answer. But what I am telling you I'm trying to do is, I think what's going to be best is, because we've got a lot of messages on the text, which remember you can text us on 07858 429 316, and the Facebook page, which is Koast Radio. We're going to have a look at all them. I'm going to play one more song. We're going to keep Bear around a little bit longer. We're going to play a daft game after this. Then we're going to do the 50-minute takeover. Then we're going to cover boxing and MMA. How does that sound with you?
Sounds brilliant. Sounds
Right,
brilliant.
okay, but first there is an ad, and then we are going to go Robin Williams Angels, and this is for the lovely Catherine.
Robin Williams.
Not Robin Williams.
No, which is what you said.
Thanks very much for sending with that message. Yes, thanks. Who was that? David, thanks for getting in touch. Yes, Robbie Williams, not Robin Williams.
He is with the Angels, however. So,
What were you saying,
So-
Luke?
Yeah, so that is the end of Daniel's little interview. He's going to stick around for the rest of the show and just help out with some of the combat sports research that we've been doing or discussion. So thanks very much, Dan, for coming on the show. Daniel, the Gilroy, Mr. Bear, whatever you would like to call him. Thank you very much.
No,
But
thank you very much
before
for
we
having me.
go- It's all right. Before we go, we just wanted to find out what's next for the Rockets. Do you have any plans for summer, or does it quiet down?
if I had my plans, I'd be going into hibernation for the 6 weeks. But, the big machine just keeps on going, mate.
Right.
Big wheel keeps on turning,
Yeah.
and we have like a multi-sports camp, football camp and rugby camps running through the summer. There's one starting on the 29th of August, on Tuesday the 29th of August to Friday the 1st of September, just before the kids go back to school, let them burn off some energy, and it's a good one to get down to, like just before summer ends,
Yeah.
get you doing some sports, get you running about.
Well, and where are they at and how much are they?
The first 2 days are at the Cramlington Sporting Club, and then on the third, so that's the Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on the Thursday and Friday they're held at Ponteland First School. All our camps are ran from like 10 a.m. in the morning till 3 p.m. in the afternoon. It's only £10 a day to book on. Like we've got like a lot of these ones, like parents like to ask how we book on. Some just do drop in, but we prefer to be booked on just so we know the numbers for.
Of course. Got
for
a
the
plan,
camps.
haven't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's for us to plan. Just so they have the best possible time that they can have. Just drop us a message on Facebook, or if you want, email us at rocketscommunity@gmail.com.
Brilliant. And I'll tell you what we'll do, because we're nice guys here at Koast Radio on the Sideline. We'll stick that link on the Facebook page.
Ah, that's a
Of
good
course, we'll put it out there, we'll share it. Anybody that does want to get involved with the Rockets, certainly for the fantastic work that you're doing in the community, they can do so, and we'll get the word out there for you, mate.
No, thank
All right.
you very much, guys. So did I pass my interview? Am I going on the game show?
You tell us, get in touch with us.
Yeah, we'll send you that out by letter, mate.
Oh,
We'll
thank
let
you.
you know.
Don't get in touch with us, we'll get in touch with you.
Wow.
So, this brings us on to, hopefully, what I like to perceive as the fun part of the show. This is a little game, a brand new feature. Future? Let's say feature.
Feature.
A feature of the show.
Good.
So, this is because, and Daniel will back me up on this, Stephen Beattie, the co-presenter of Host, who gets all the technicalities wrong on the show, can also not pronounce names to save his life.
Yeah.
So, you may even recall last week that he just read out players' names wrong during conversation. Well, that's because... Oh, no, sorry, he didn't read them
No, I
out.
didn't read them out, so I'd like to correct ourselves on that one before we start making me look more like an idiot. So
To be fair, though, he did it this week because
did.
Robin Williams was singing Angels.
that's true.
That's true.
But I
So-
got you to read them out last week.
That's right. Steve got me to do the pronunciations because I'm a good pal like that,
Yeah.
obviously, because he's a little tad insecure. So I've tried to develop a little feature called the Stephen Beattie pronunciation game. Now, the premise of the show, the premise of the idea is that I will give Stephen a list of names, I'll read out a little bio for everyone at home so they can try and play along and guess who it is.
Yes.
Stephen will then try to pronounce their name. So,
Okay.
some of them will be a little bit obscure because we've tried to stitch them up this week. me and
Okay,
Daniel
thanks very
together.
much. Friends.
Could we go with a different name? I mean, could we
Yes.
have? I mean, I like the pronunciation game, but that's a tongue twister in itself.
It is.
I mean, with Steve, it is a game show, and I've been part of a game show.
Yes.
So could we go with something like, whose name is it anyway?
I like it. So what we'll do,
It's close enough not to get sued, I think. Isn't it?
Yes,
It's close so
yes.
people know what we're talking about.
whose
but it's-
line is
it's-
it anyway?
No, we can't say that.
All right, okay.
don't wanna
get
So
sued.
forget that I said that.
Yes, good lad. It's not as if it's been recorded. So it's what's the name of the band?
Whose name is it anyway?
Whose
Right.
name is it anyway? I
If
like it. Go on, what do you
I
think?
do
Sorry.
like. I'm impressed.
There might be a better
Game
one.
show expert. So if anyone can think of anything better, get in touch and we'll pick the best name for the game. So I am going to give Stephen a copy of the names we have chose. Good luck, Stephen.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, how are you?
He's now looking very puzzled. So let's
Well, he's
start
some
the
kind
show.
of cheese.
So let's start the show then. The first name on the list. This is a Uruguayan professional footballer who plays as a striker for League One club Paris Saint-Germain and the Uruguayan national team. He's a quick, strong, opportunistic and prolific forward with a good technique. He has been described as a modern striker. He's known for his ability to score impressive goals both in the air and with his feet, and for his tireless work rate, in fact.
Easy for you to say.
Although he primarily plays as a centre forward, he's capable of playing in several offensive positions and has also been deployed as a supporting striker or as a winger. Stephen Beattie, what is his name?
I know this one. Because I play FIFA a lot.
Right.
Now, the running joke is between me and Bear here is I used to pronounce his name Cannavaro, which I believe is a car.
It's
that right?
also a famous Italian centre back, but yeah.
Well, potato. So I would go for
Yeah.
Edison Cavani. Is that right?
Right. Danny, you're going to keep score, so
I
that's
did
one out
not
of
get
one.
nilled. I'm happy about that.
Right. So the next gentleman is an American college basketball coach and former player. Since 1980, he has served as the head men's basketball coach at Duke University. At Duke, he led the Blue Devils to 5 NCAA championships, 12 Final Fours, 12 ACC regular season titles, and 14 ACC tournament championships.
Whatever they are.
Exactly, yeah. He has led the team. He was also coach of the United States men's national basketball team, which he has led to 3 gold medals at the 2008 Summer Olympics, the 2012 Summer Olympics, and the 2016 Summer Olympics. Stephen Beattie, what is his name?
Simple. Mike Wazowski. I've watched Monsters Inc. I know the crack.
Right.
Mike Wazowski.
His name
Fine
is
answer.
actually Mike Krzyzewski.
Krzyzewski. Incorrect. Right.
So,
Nilpois.
what's the scores at, Danny?
1 out
Out
of
of
2 for Stephen at the minute.
So it's 1-1. I mean, you like to do basic maths, mate. Come on. It's 1-1.
So the next gentleman is an American football fullback for the San Francisco 49ers of the NFL. He played college at Harvard. He was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 4th round of the 2013 NFL draft. And he attended Harvard University, where he played tight end for the Harvard Crimson football team under coach Tim Murphy. Following his senior season in 2012, he was a unanimous first-team All-Ivy League selection. Stephen Beattie, what is his name?
I'm going to go for Kyle
Right.
Juszczyk.
Okay, it's close.
It's close.
It's actually Kyle Juszczyk.
Well, that's not close at all, then, is it? So you've lied to me. It's not close at all.
So the next gentleman, I'm going to cut these down a little bit actually because they're
Yeah.
sounding a bit long. So he's a Latvian professional ice hockey centre currently playing for the Buffalo Sabres of the NHL. He was selected by the 14th overall in the 2012 NHL entry draft by the Buffalo Sabres. What is his name?
I'm going to go for Zemgus
Right. You run out of time.
Gurgensen.
I didn't tell you, but there's a time limit.
Oh, okay. Zemgus
Yeah.
Gurgensen.
Oh, he's close. I think we'll give him that one.
Yeah,
It's
go on, be
actually
nice.
Zemgus Gurgensons.
Oh, yeah. I've got to get
I
that
think we're
one.
splitting hairs
Yeah.
there.
2-2.
Go on,
I
we're
think
being
we're
nice.
splitting hairs.
We'll let him have that one. We'll let him have that
go
one.
on. There's two he's got.
Who are all these people, by the way? I mean,
Daniel did the research on
Oh,
this one.
well, why am I
I
not
thought I'm getting you
surprised?
back after years.
So the next one is an American professional ice hockey player also, currently playing and serving as an alternative captain for the Winnipeg Jets of the National Ice Hockey League.
alternative captain. Does that
Yeah,
just
I
mean
don't know what
assistant
that
captain?
means.
AC, I'm sure AC means.
Yes, so he's drafted as a defenseman. He's also played both forward and defence in his career, although he's generally played defence in recent years, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot more sort of bump
I'm
on
going to
him.
go for Dustin
Right?
Byfungling.
It's actually Dustin Bufflin.
Bufflin?
Bufflin.
Right, for the listeners at home, this is spelled Byfuglin.
That's obvious. That's obviously Bufflin.
That's Bufflin.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's Bufflin. How
There's a silent Z and all sorts. Right, okay.
So the next gentleman,
Oh, Howie, this guy's got to be made up.
I'm going to leave it as he's a Greek professional basketball player of the Milwaukee Bucks of the National Basketball Association, the NBA, and he stands at 6'11". Yada yada yada. Some more stuff about him. I just want to see you try and do this name. So if you could, Stephen Beattie, what is his name? I've actually got to try and pronounce this afterwards.
Have you really? Giannis.
Right?
So it's Janice.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Right. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to break down the word.
Okay.
So you know, it's this point where you're trying to remember what they said to you in English at school, and then you remember that you didn't really go to English in school. That's been great, England. Right, okay. Anti,
Yeah.
tok,
Yeah.
un,
Yeah.
napo. Anti,
absolutely
tokun, napo.
nowhere near.
Right.
So Danny, you have a go next. Go on, mate. You have a go. You've actually got the pronunciation here, so you might do a bit
Yanis
better.
Adetokumbo.
Oh, I like it. So that is
One more time,
correct.
one more time, Bear.
Yanis Yanis
Ah.
Adetokumbo.
So yeah,
I think he's making this up, you know. I don't think he's doing that. Pronounce it yourself.
Yanis Adetokunbo.
Oh, that was good.
Look at
Yeah, that was all right, wasn't it?
That was good.
Linguist
That was
there.
good.
That's
Unless
also-
you just typed in a load of letters for that name.
I just think, I thought he was Welsh myself. Right.
So the next gentleman, you should know this one, is an Armenian
Nope.
professional footballer who plays as a midfielder for English club Manchester United, as well as captaining the Armenian national team. He is Armenia's all-time top goal scorer,
With
scoring
5.
22 goals in 64 international matches since his debut in January 2007. What is his name, Stephen B?
Henrik.
It is Henrik.
Betrayan.
Mitryan.
You are very trying.
Yeah, that was a good try. It's Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Mkhitaryan. Of
I
course it
believe.
is.
Now the next guy, you should
Henrik
get the next guy.
Targaryen.
Don't bring Game of Thrones.
Game
up.
of Thrones. Game of Thrones tomorrow morning, guys. Tune in.
So the next gentleman is a professional footballer who
How
plays for
even
French
I know this
Ligue
one.
1 club Lyon and the French national team as a centre back. He was born in Bangui, Central African Republic, but moved to France as an 8-year-old. He also played for Newcastle. What is his name?
Mapu
Yeah,
Yangma Biwa. Yangaviwa.
yeah, I'll let you have that. It's Mapu
Mbappe.
Yangaviwa.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Ah,
So
yeah,
I've got
that'd
be
1,
nice, so we'll let them have
2,
that one.
3,
Yeah,
4.
we'll let them have that
I'm
one.
counting this right. I think I've got 5 so far. So I've got that
what's
tied
that?
good.
I think you're being a little bit generous.
I've got that tied good at the last one.
I think you've got this. You've got 3. Because
Well, you say 3, I say 5. We'll let the audience decide.
potato.
The last two. So
You guys are another one.
Danish professional footballer who plays as a centre back. for
Simon
Church-
Kajor, man. Howie, let's get on
Oh,
with
he's got
it.
He's nailed it.
Of course I have. I played football manager all the time, son.
Simon Kajor. Brilliant.
Right.
The last one then. He's a professional footballer who plays as a left back for Ligue 1 club Metz. Began his career at Lens in 2006 and was signed by Tottenham Hotspur. He became a first team regular for the Premier League side, totaling 200 appearances across all competitions. Loaned out to Queen's Park Rangers in 2013 and released in 2015, after which he joined Saint Etienne. What is his name, Stephen B?
He is Beniot Asu Akoto.
I believe. Do you know it, Daniel?
Come on.
It is. It's Benoit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my friend, it's Benoit.
Well, that's
not
close. If I got
Benoit.
out of three
it's-
words, I got 2 of them right. So
it's-
surely you just rounded up,
No.
don't you?
Benoit Asu Ikoto.
That's what I said.
No,
Yeah.
say it
That's what I
again.
said. Benu, Asu Ukoto. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. How are you?
5.
5 out of
Hold
10.
on, it's not a botter. What did he actually
He got
get?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
He can't-
5 out of 10.
50%. Do I get a round of applause?
So-
Do I get a round of applause?
Well
done,
To be
I'm
fair,
not-
That is better than what he's
If he
ever
was
been able to pull off.
if he was coaching you and you got 50% coaching
Just call him
ability
Dave.
out
I'll just
of
call
what
him
you've
Dave.
If
Would
he-
he
if
give you
that
a
was
pat on
me-
the back? Would he give
No,
you
he
a pat?
wouldn't. There'd be some choice words said.
Exactly.
I feel like my feelings would
You,
get
my
hurt.
friend, need to go on a development program.
I think
So that was whose name is that anyway?
whose name is it anyway?
That was
Unless you can
awful.
think of a
Let's be
better
honest.
game.
That was awful.
Awful game or awful at you pronouncing them?
Little from column A, a little from column B. Well, moving on to more important things. Thank you very much for everyone for getting in touch. We have obviously do the 15-minute takeover at 5 o'clock, but it's this kind of show, so it's now 20 past 5, and we're just getting onto it. Thank you for everyone getting in touch, especially a massive thank you from Gillian in Blythe. Gillian has got in touch on our Facebook page, which is Koast Radio. Just type in Koast Radio on Facebook. Gillian says she's a goalkeeper, and this song is a song she plays to get her psyched up before every time she plays. So we're going to start the 15-minute takeover. Gillian, thank you so much for getting in touch. The first song to start off is Little Mix, Power, and then it's some gentleman called Despacito. Is that the name of the guy, or is that the name of the song?
Whatever you want.
Okay, and
I'm
then it's
glad
my
you
mate
pronounced it
George
right.
Ezra, Budapest, and then a bit of Ed Sheeran. So thank you so much for Jill and everybody else for getting in touch. We promise to play all your songs when we get a chance next week. This is The Sideline on Koast Radio. Sadly, the bear has decided to go and leave us. It's something about his kids or something, mate. I don't really know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Nah.
All I just heard was excuses.
Yeah, that's
excuses.
it. I hope he's listening in the car.
Well, he better be. No, thank you very much for thank you very much for getting in touch with us and giving us your song requests, especially to Gillian. I hope that got you revved up. I hope you just didn't go out and slide and tackle somebody or something. So, obviously, last week we covered a lot of sports, such as football and basketball. But this week we thought we're getting stuck into some more contact sports. Easy for me to say, apparently.
Yeah. Combat sports.
Contact sports indeed, brother. So, not sure if you know about this. Not sure if you've been living in a rock or something. But there's a little fight coming up between Floyd Money Mayweather
Yeah.
and Conor Mystic Mac McGregor,
Or notorious.
or Notorious. He's got many names.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about that fight? Is it a fight that the fans generally want to see, or is it a farce? And maybe we'll chat a little bit about kind of the background of how it all started, all that type of stuff.
Well, I'm fascinated by it, mate. I think it's the pantomime of it is brilliant. I can't wait to see it. If I'm honest, I'm excited. I mean, I think I'm at work, to be honest. But in all honesty, it's a fantastic. It's
Say
what
fantastic,
Mayweather Pacquiao should have been.
Right. Okay.
This, but it happened too late, didn't it?
Did.
That fight. So
Yeah.
this is replacing that as two of the most exciting combat sports personalities in the world.
Yeah. So for the listeners at home that don't really know what we're talking about, they think, what are you talking about? Why is this such a big fight? Basically, what you've got here is you've got the greatest of all time in boxing, who was undefeated, 48-0. Was it 40? What was it?
49.
49-0. Thank you very much. So 49 wins, 0 defeats, and he's the boxing Hall of Fame legend.
The GOAT, isn't
King
he?
Kong is GOAT. He's a GOAT. I found out what GOAT meant the other week.
Yeah.
Everybody kept referring to this person as a GOAT. I'm thinking, what do you mean he's a GOAT? Like, GOAT stands for greatest of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got this icon in boxing. Now he's challenged a gentleman in mixed martial arts
Yeah.
who works for a company called UFC, who fights for a company called UFC, and he's challenged him to a boxing match. But the thing is with McGregor, the Notorious, as you rightly said, he's basically one of them guys that knows how to get under your skin, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
he
one
knows
of
how
them-
to sell a fight.
he
That's why
knows
he's
how to
so
sell a
prominent
fight, doesn't
now
he?
in the
Yeah.
media. He's witty. He's trash talkers.
But he can back it up as well, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. He's not. He's a two-time world champion in two different things, like
Yeah.
Cage Warriors and the UFC. So I mean, he's rightly so put himself on the map. Whether it's the ability in the class of Mayweather is the whole talking point.
So, yes. So they are doing boxing, though, just to clarify this
Yeah.
for people at home. They're actually having a boxing match. So you might think, well, why would Conor McGregor, this amazing two-time world champion, like you rightly pointed out, why would he get involved with boxing? I tell you why he's going to get involved with boxing. He's got 100 million reasons to get involved for boxing.
Oh, absolutely.
They reckon that
Absolutely.
McGregor will make at least 100 million for that fight.
Absolutely. And I mean, in comparison, Floyd Mayweather is now actually got a net worth of around $350
He
million.
loves his stats as all. Look, don't you, buddy, lad? Go on, give us some stats. Hit me up.
That's according to Forbes. So
Yes.
so he's got around 350 million, and he's in line from this fight, they reckon, to have a $400 million payday.
$400 million payday.
Yeah, to come out of it. I would imagine that includes all the endorsements and things like that.
So
I mean, in comparison, if you wanted to compare in terms of finance figures, McGregor is now up to a net worth of $34 million.
34 million.
It's not quite the same, is it?
No.
So,
So the fascinating thing, it does raise some talking points. First of all, is it a fight or is it a farce? I mean, that's kind of a big talking point that people are doing. They've started doing this road show. They've went on their what they're called their world tour.
yeah.
I'm not sure if anybody's seen it on the Facebook page or Sky Sports or whatever, but basically it's Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather talking trash to each other, trying to get each other's skin. It's a little bit set up like a bit of a pantomime, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Fascinating. And the frustrating thing about these events that I find, so I know we're not going to spend too long on this.
No.
It can get very detailed and very technical. But the fascinating thing for this is because I'm a very much common working man's person, don't make very much money, yada, yada, yada. I'm the average Joe of sports.
Yes.
The average fan of sports, whether it's football or combat sports. My two favourites, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm regularly getting priced out of football matches now.
Yeah.
Away games, potentially home games. They're probably all right, especially in the northeast. Average 40 to 40 odd pounds per ticket.
Yes.
Now, the Mayweather tickets. Now, I said this a long time ago. I would bankrupt myself to go watch Mayweather Pacquiao.
Wow.
When it happened 5 years later, I didn't.
Yes.
What's the point? I'm not going to waste my hard-earned money. Now, I'm a big fan of Vegas. Been to Vegas a couple of times. I would gladly go to Vegas and spend my money on a holiday to go and watch Mayweather McGregor. Fascinating. I would even spend a couple of £100 on a ticket.
Is it in Vegas?
It is in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Yeah. So, and it's it's at one of the new arenas. I think it's the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
Yeah.
So, which is attached to the MGM. Not attached to it, but it's linked with the
Part
MGM.
of that.
Yeah. Now, however, the tickets for this are a farce in its own right.
I'm bracing myself. I'm holding on to my chair. Come on, how much?
That anywhere between just thousands. So you're looking at some of the tickets here are costing £1,800. Some of them are costing $13,000.
And the figures, the £1,800 ones, I've seen. I'm looking at the thing that Luke's looking at right now. They're not ringside. They're not cage side. They're in the bleachers, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're in the what do they call it? They're in the gods as they call it to James Park.
Yeah, the equivalent of level 7. So I mean, I went to Vegas in May last year or sometime anyway, and it was when Amir Khan was fighting Canelo
Alvarez. Yeah.
So we actually looked for some tickets very briefly online. The cheapest ticket in the bleachers was $900.
Wow.
Now, I can't afford $900. That's a ridiculous amount of money to pay. And what's happening is in
Is it a ridiculous amount? I think that's a question, though, isn't it? The my thing with this, though, is they're charging it because they must be getting it.
Oh,
surely?
Of course. It's the rich fat cats, isn't it? It's the celebrities. It's every.
But you can watch it from home. You can watch it on TV. I mean, obviously, it won't be the same as going to the Vegas and stuff. You know what I mean?
Why should the real fans who are paying the most money? So you in comparison, you would be saying the gate receipts, they will be large. But after last night's UFC 214,
which we'll get into in about 6 minutes,
1 million pay-per-view buys at whatever. I think it was $50. It's normally $59.99.
Yes.
For Americans to pay for that. So 1 million people paying $59.95.
Wow.
That's more than 20,000 people paying 13,000. I think my math isn't great.
No, it isn't. Let's be honest.
So my thing is, right, great. Anyone can watch it at home, whether you're a celeb or not. Like,
yes.
Why can't the real fans taste it? This goes for football and everything as well, because we're being regularly priced out.
You've got a valid point, you have got a valid point, especially when it comes to the football season. Obviously, we're not going to get into football. We covered that last week.
The fans drive sports entertainment.
Yeah. That's
without a shadow of a doubt. We drive sports entertainment. No way, no shape, no how That is a fact. So we should get a taste of that. And there's talk on here. So the most recent article, so that's saying that even buying tickets that started at $500. Right?
$500
so I've paid
for a
$500
ticket.
for a concert ticket before.
I would have people listening to this now thinking, would I pay $500 for a ticket of anything?
I've paid $500 for a ticket to see J-Lo. Right?
You paid $500
Yeah.
to watch Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Taco flavored kisses. It was brilliant and it was worth it.
$500. Well, hang on a minute. You're not getting
For
off that.
one ticket.
For one ticket.
Yeah. Well,
Did you
I
go by
bought
yourself?
Two. I bought two.
So you spent $1,000.
Yeah.
How long did the concert last?
I don't know, like hour and a half or something like that.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
An hour and a half
But mate,
for
life's for living,
£1,000.
so like that's my cap. That's roughly my.
Did it come
cap.
with a free drink?
It didn't.
Did it come with a slice of
It did.
toast?
It didn't.
Did it come with a cheese toasty?
It didn't.
Didn't want that.
Right.
Did it come with a cup of tea?
But I got to pay $500.
You got to.
direct.
Oh,
Yes,
you
for the
lucky devil.
privilege. But wait a minute, that was actually front row tickets, so I'm not doing
ridiculous.
it justice here.
Oh,
I paid
okay.
for a front row ticket,
Right.
$500.
How many celebrities did you
The other
see?
tickets, I didn't see any. But the other tickets were like average $67, $90 or whatever, your average price. So I've paid more for a premium seat, I suppose. I don't mind that. But what's happening here?
I do.
What's happening here with the Mayweather McGregor? So all tickets below $3,500 are offered by resellers looking to make back some money after snatching up the cheap seats, which started at $500 when the tickets went on sale.
Wow.
So they went on sale for $500 and they're selling them for $3,500. It's wrong.
It's wrong.
It
I tell you,
is.
it's wrong.
So
That's
just-
mental. So,
I think that's actually become the biggest talking point.
yes.
Real
Well,
fans
well,
can't
here's a
get
question for you, and we're going to play one more song before we go to the UFC stuff, and then before we sadly have to call it a day because they want to kick you out. I don't know why. Thought we're having a great time. That's a talking point for the listeners at home. Would you spend the ridiculous amount of money? I'm looking at opposite somebody that clearly would for £500 for an hour and a half worth of entertainment. Or the stats about would you spend $5,000 to go watch your favourite fight? Football fans, would you spend $500 for a Champions League ticket? I couldn't imagine they'd be too far from that price.
You're probably right, mate. You're probably looking at very large figures to watch Champions League final matches. I mean, I would be in a predicament myself if Newcastle ever went to a Champions League final, which we know won't happen.
Yes.
But I would be in the same.
I live in
boat
hope. Aye. Well, that's the question. So, would you ever pay 500, 5,000, whatever? Is there such a thing as too much money? Is there such a thing as too expensive? Okay. Final shout out to the day goes to the lovely Clary. Thanks very much, Clary, for getting in touch. After this message is Ed Sheeran, "Shape of You." Oh, what a tune that was! Ed Sheeran, "Shape of You" for Clary. Right. Okay. So we've discussed the boxing. And the McGregor Mayweather freak
The
show,
hybrid boxing.
the hybrid boxing, whatever you want to call it. Final point to talk about today. For the listeners at home, there was a massive event on last night. That event saw me leave the comfort of my very warm, nice and cosy house to drive all the way to where you live. And I won't say on air where you live, but it was quite far away, to sit there and watch a live event with you this morning.
Yeah. Quite an event it was.
It was amazing.
UFC 214.
An emotional
MMA.
roller coaster, some people might call it.
Absolutely. One of the biggest rivalries in sport happened to end big style last night.
I'm still crying about it now. I had a bit of a nap before, I woke up, just my heart was sinking, my heart sank.
So for anyone that doesn't know, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
the main event card. We'll get straight into the main
Yeah,
event
let's
card.
just go for it. We've only got 10 minutes.
Daniel Cormier versus John Jones, the second.
Yeah.
What a fantastic... it was a great fight, wasn't it, mate?
It was,
Great
but let's just give people the background on this first. Okay, so basically you had this guy called DC, this little stumpy fella,
Yeah.
who is pretty much your all-American. Okay, he's a lovely father to 3 gorgeous girls. He's like, he's a stay-at-home dad. He's your white-collar American to the lads. All the blokes want to have a drink with him.
Yeah.
All the mums want to take him out for a cup of tea, shall we say.
Going into the fight,
Yes.
Daniel Cormier has only ever been beaten by John Jones,
Yes.
the person
So
that
he
he's
was
fighting once
undefeated
before.
by one, except for one person. Only one person ever got ahead of him.
Yeah. Held the belt and was on a 4-fight win streak from his last fight from John Jones.
So that's DC. That's Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
John Jones, however, is pretty much the exact opposite you could get if you tried, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he's the rebel bad boy.
He is the bad boy. He's 6'4", 15 stone or whatever of just anger. Okay, now John Jones he was the youngest ever world champion in the UFC.
Yeah.
And he's a freak of nature. We say that in a nice way. We say that in a way that means that basically he could just perform and just do things that no real human being should do. For example, he was banned for being involved in a hit and run accident.
Yeah.
Which he was a very naughty boy for. He owned up. He owned that. He said, "I'm sorry." He actually, I'm not sure if you know this, mate, but he was involved in a hit and run with a pregnant woman.
Right.
Which
That's despicable.
Which was just absolutely disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he made some mistakes in his past. But then the reason why I say he's a bit of a freak of nature is he decided, for a bit of a laugh, to take up powerlifting.
Yeah.
Within a month, within 4 weeks of being practicing powerlifting, he broke all state records for powerlifting.
Wow.
He's just one of them guys that can just naturally do whatever he wants to do.
He's absolutely incredible.
So them two guys, you had this. The UFC sorted very well. There was a very nice guy that people want to be on his side, and there was the somewhat the lovable rogue, and them two just did not like each other, did they, mate?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So that led to them fighting the first time, and then where John Jones beat DC decision.
Yeah.
By decision.
He did, yeah.
In a great fight. Another one which we were up till after the top of the morning watching together.
Yeah.
And then we had a second opportunity for the fight. But then the night of the fight, John Jones gets caught taking steroids. Not physically caught. No one's walked in and he's got a syringe.
No.
He just gets, the blood work comes back to the lab. The night of the fight, this was last year, and he had steroids. We had estrogen blockers in his system, which basically means there was only one way you could get it, according to you saw it at the time, and they said you must have been on steroids.
Yes.
So anyway, he holds his hands up, he does his time. Roll the clock forward. Now we're at this point. We're in July, just. Yes, we're in July, and he's fighting DC for the second time for the World Championship belt in the UFC. Oh,
What a fight. What a fascinating fight. Going into the fight, John Jones he's never lost a competitive fight in the UFC.
nope.
So he's
Complete freak of nature he is.
He's defended his belt. I don't know how many times, yeah. It's
Yeah. As always, my lovely co-host he's looking for them stats.
Yeah.
He loves them stats, does Luke?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. So John Jones basically powerhouse, complete
he's
freak.
defended his belt 10 times.
Defended his belt 10 times.
before he fought DC again,
Yeah.
like last night.
Yeah.
So that's the 11th time.
Yeah.
So absolutely fantastic fight.
Yes.
Daniel Cormier looked a different fighter
Did.
going into it. I mean, I've just stole that from the commentators, but I mean,
He did. He
you're
slimmed
saying
down.
what we've
Daniel
seen.
Cormier is normally a big chunky guy, isn't he? But he slimmed
Yeah.
down. Like there was no signs of a six pack. It was more of a keg.
Yeah.
But he'd slimmed down, and
No.
you could tell he took this really seriously, physically
I just
and
wonder
mentally.
if I mean, a lot of the fight, I did watch a lot of the press conferences, and I wonder, did DC get emotionally involved still? He was brilliant, and me and you both looked at it and had him winning the rounds, the first two rounds going into the third.
First thing DC did, he came out and he landed a massive bomb on John
did, yeah.
Jones. He said to John Jones, "You were wrong not to have a tune-up fight."
Yeah.
UFC, this is how arrogant John Jones is, okay? The UFC said to John Jones, "Look, ring rust is real. We'll see this happen many times." That's another interesting point about the Floyd Mayweather
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Conor McGregor fight. Will
2 years,
ring
yes,
rust be
both.
real for him?
Yeah.
So the UFC said to John Jones, "Look, take a tune-up fight.
Yeah.
Go beat some bum all over the place. Come back, fight DC for the title." John Jones says, "Hey, I'm John Jones, man.
Yeah.
I don't need your warm-up fight. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take the belt off him."
And quite rightly so. I mean, that's what he did do.
He did, but after the first two rounds, and basically what happened, guys, listening at home, and sorry if you just want to watch this or you've got a pre-record on BT Sport or whatever, but basically the first two rounds, DC, Daniel Cormier, he gave John Jones a beating. He got stuck in. He closed the gap. He closed the distance. He showed that he was a well-rounded fighter. He didn't take him to the ground, but he stood there and traded with the guy that everybody says do not trade with.
Yeah. He
And
did,
then-
he did a good showing of it. He did a really good showing of it. And it's just a shame that he couldn't have beat him to set up a trilogy. 'Cause
No.
that would have been fantastic.
It would have been amazing. It would have been. I mean, I would even consider City. I mean, I wouldn't pay £500 to go see J-Lo, but I'd probably pay 20 quid to go watch DC Jones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's just to our lifestyle, our different budgets we have in life. But yeah, but that's what happened. So for the fact that the spoiler alert is, comes out the third round, DC walks out a straight line again. John Jones hits him with this. Oh, a thunderous head kick, didn't he?
If, like we're talking about ability, and I just wonder if, DC could have trained for 1,000 years. The outcome would have still been the same.
Oh, that's a big call, brother.
He's had 2 fights with him. He's had 2 different opportunities
Yes.
to change it up and do different opportunities, and he just isn't the ability. I really like Daniel Cormier. I really like seeing him fight. Really like seeing him commentate and present. But John Jones, his ability is just too great for him.
I think he's too good for everyone. I think he will go down. If he had, this is an interesting point which we'll probably talk about in a later show. Natural ability. Okay, natural ability versus trained ability.
Yeah.
And I think there's a massive difference, and we see this all the time. And everybody, coaches sat there listening at home now, you will know someone who has natural ability and who, for whatever reason, they didn't make it. 9 times out of 10, it's because they're involved in stupid things like Mr. Jones has been involved in.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
And
Totally agree.
the terrifying thing for any UFC fan, or for John Jones himself, is how good could he have been if he could just control his demons?
Oh yeah, that'll be evidence as he gets more celebrity, as he becomes more of a champion, as he becomes unbeatable, as he becomes basically a UFC god.
Yes,
that will become more
UFC
evident.
god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, will he be able to control his demons?
I think he will be. I'll tell you this why. Okay, so for very briefly, because we've only got 2 minutes, and I can talk about UFC, same with you, mate, for about 10 years. But we haven't got time. I think people will be asleep by 6:15. But for now, the UFC was sold last year. Was it this year? Last year for $4.4 billion.
Yeah.
By a company that basically that company is a talent agency.
Yeah.
So they look after the A-list of the A-listers. So they look after Tom Cruise. They look after Brad Pitt. On a very lesser scale, they look after Jack Black. Okay, I've seen Jack Black.
Yeah.
They look after Snoop Dogg. They are that kind of weird, but they're an amazing, massive company that looks after the elite of the elite. Now, what they have done is they have give their management team to John Jones.
Yeah.
And they've basically said to John Jones, if you want to be the best in the world, you have to bark when we say bark. You have to say please when we say please, thank you when we say thank you. And that is why John Jones will now go on to be the best there ever was, because he's now got that guidance and he's got a good support team around him, which was lacking in the past when he's made dumb decisions.
Yeah.
What a lovely way to finish it off. John Jones, is he the best there ever will be? Only time will tell, I'm afraid, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Lovely.
I think he's time will tell.
Time will tell.
Fantastic ability.
Well, thank you so much for the Bear, who will still be listening because he's got quite a long drive home as well. So thank you so much to the Bear for coming in today. I think it's amazing the work he does with the community. Obviously, I am his line manager, so I do know the gentleman firsthand. He is one of the greatest unsung heroes I have ever had the privilege of working with. He doesn't know the meaning of 9 to 5. He is there for the kids. We joke on. His sessions always run over because he just loves it so much. He attends events at the drop of a hat. If you are interested in speaking to the Bear or getting to any work in your school or community group, please feel free to go check Bear out. You can get in touch with us via the website.